I want to begin with the Jaffa Orange. So, the Jaffa Orange, named for the city of Jaffa, which is the old city of Tel Aviv. The Jaffa Orange was a mutation that developed in the middle to late 1800s. It's a very modern fruit, and it was in the right place at the right time. The Arabs there referred to it by a different name, one called Jaffa Orange, was called Shamuti. That was the name of the varietal. But because it had a nice thick skin, it was also easily peelable, and also not a lot of seeds, which made it really good for eating, very tasty. But the thick skin made it great for export. It made it less perishable. And at the same time, you have the birth of steam power. And so this became the first modern export produce from the land of Israel. Okay? There had been other exports in the past, mainly textiles, things of that nature. This is the first real export product in modern times. And it was largely grown at the time by Arabs. At the time, I'm talking about late 1800s. But the Jews who had settled in the land also saw an opportunity here. They started, as many of you know, in growing grapes to make wine, but that takes technology. Okay? You have to not just grow the grapes, you have to know how to turn it into good quality wine. That's effort and technology. This, you just need to know how to grow it and you can ship it out. And so the Jews moved fairly quickly into this business as well, planted their own orchards, etc. But what's important and what is often overlooked is that while the Jews actually brought a lot of new technology, irrigation technology, and were able to do things well, the Jaffa Orange at the time was really a symbol of coexistence. There was cooperation between Jews and Arabs on many of these orchards, growing together, selling together, etc. I'm not saying it was perfect and anything like that, but there was definitely a lot of cooperation in this product at the time. Over time, Jewish cultivation outpaced Arab cultivation, and what comes along getting into the 20s and the 30s is that the leaders of the Zionist movement in Israel made efforts to get Jews to buy Hebrew products, Jewish-made products, such as the Jaffa Oranges. Buy Jewish Jaffa Oranges rather than Arab Jaffa Oranges, which of course is going to engender a certain degree of animosity among the Arabs who may have been losing business. But let's remember that primarily this was an export product, so I don't think this made a massive impact on either side, but it was definitely a part of it. But after 1948, with the establishment of the State of Israel, or as it is known in the Palestinian terminology, the Nakba, the tragedy, it is then that this gets transformed from this symbol of cooperation into a symbol of what was lost. I'll get back to that in a moment. What was lost to them. And this is because largely the city of Jaffa was one of those places where there was a lot of Arabs living before and that they fled, or they might say they were expelled. I would disagree with that, but that's a different discussion. The point is that this was a place where there was a big Arab population that afterwards there was not, and so they attached it to this image. And it became a symbol within Palestinian culture of what was lost during this war. Now, that's the sort of background to it. Here's where the ironies come into play. First of all, as I said, it was a brand new fruit. It's not like they had their hundreds of years of history making this. More than that, the first people to actually export the Jaffa Orange under that name were neither Jews nor Palestinians, but the German Templars, Christian Protestants, who had a settlement at what is today Sarona in Tel Aviv. And they were exporting the Jaffa Oranges, and they were the ones who really saw that potential. Adding another layer of irony is the fact that while it still remains this symbol of what was lost to Israelis and in Israel today, it is not a major export product anymore. We're more of a tech thing. And so this is There's a famous sculpture, and if you want to move, you're welcome, but you don't have to. It's a famous sculpture in Jaffa today by an Israeli artist named Ron Morin. It's called Orange Suspendu. It is an orange tree, an actual growing orange tree in a planter that is suspended in midair, symbolizing how we're cut off from our roots and how what was this important thing in our history is no longer something that is connected to it in any way anymore.